The moment no one is watching is the moment they come alive. Not because they hate people, but because silence gives them power. This story begins with the type of person most people misunderstand. From the outside, they look distant, quiet, almost disconnected. They don't chase meetings. They don't crave applause. They don't light up in group brainstorming sessions. But put them alone in a room with a problem, a vision, or a blank page and something dangerous happens. Their focus sharpens. Their nervous system settles. Their mind finally has space to work. Here is the hook most people miss. People who love working alone are not antisocial. They are internally driven, psychologically self-regulated, and wired for deep cognitive ownership. And that difference quietly changes everything. Come in hook. If you had to choose, work alone in silence, or in a loud team, what would you choose, and why? Comment your thoughts below. The narrator explains that in American culture, teamwork is glorified. Collaboration is praised. Open offices are celebrated. But psychology tells a quieter truth. Some minds don't expand in groups, they fragment. For these individuals, every extra voice becomes cognitive noise. Every interruption fractures momentum. And over time, that fragmentation creates emotional fatigue. This is where deep psychology steps in. People who love working alone tend to score high in internal locus of control. They don't need external validation to feel progress. Their dopamine doesn't come from praise, it comes from mastery, from seeing a system click, from watching effort compound quietly over time. This is not loneliness. This is self-directed meaning. Jesse Livermore understood this long before psychology named it. Livermore believed the crowd was not just wrong, it was dangerous. He trusted solitude because solitude removed emotional contamination. When alone, he could hear the market instead of the noise around it. He famously said that sitting tight, not trading constantly, was where the real money was made. And sitting tight requires one brutal skill: the ability to be alone with your thoughts without panicking. People who love working alone develop this same muscle early in life. Often, their story starts in childhood. Maybe they learned that relying on others led to disappointment. Maybe they were praised for independence instead of popularity. Or maybe they simply discovered, early on, that their mind worked best without interruption. Over time, the brain associates solitude with safety and productivity. Silence becomes a signal. Now we can think. But here's the emotional twist. This strength is often mislabeled as a flaw. They're told they're too quiet. Not a team player. Hard to read. Detached. What most people don't see is the internal intensity. While others process externally, these individuals process inward. They simulate outcomes. They run mental backtests. They replay mistakes. They refine strategies. Just like Livermore studying price movements alone, learning not from tips but from observation. Psychologically, working alone gives them control over pace, environment, and emotional exposure. No sudden meetings. No forced small talk. No social performance. That reduction in emotional tax allows deeper focus, and deeper focus leads to exponential results. This is why so many high-level creators, traders, writers, engineers, and founders protect their solitude aggressively. Not because they're fragile, but because they understand how rare uninterrupted thinking really is. And yet, there's an inner tension building. Because while solitude fuels clarity, it also creates distance. From teams, from recognition, from belonging. And slowly, a question forms in the back of their mind. Is something wrong with me for preferring this? That question is where the real psychology begins. The narrator pauses here, letting the silence work. Because in the next section, the story moves inward, into the inner conflict that people who love working alone rarely admit out loud. The conflict between independence and connection, between focus and isolation, between power and doubt. And once that conflict surfaces, everything changes.